Good evening, everyone. We're going to call tonight's regularly scheduled select board meeting to order. It's 6:46 p.m. and with me is Vince Conti. Carla Nuizel is on Zoom with us as well. Chair Joe Staub is not here tonight, so I'm chairing tonight's meeting. And we are going to open up the meeting, and I'm asking Vince if there are any additions or changes to the agenda.
Yes.
Recording in progress.
Finally. We'd like to move one item up on the agenda because Carla may need to leave for personal reasons. Move the approval of the payroll permits and vouchers up on the agenda,
Excellent.
and the rest can stay as is.
Wonderful. So what I'll do at this time is open up for public comment, either through Zoom or here in person. Hearing none, we'll move forward and we'll go to the fact that we moved the item up on the agenda for approval of licenses, permits, vouchers, and applications, and we'll take care of that now.
Carla wanted to know if we could hear her, and I'm telling her no right now. Asking her to unmute. Carla, you there? Since we can't hear you, Carla, we'll need a thumbs up or something from you when it comes time to vote on this. But I'll read it, Flo. Payroll warrant 26-10 for payroll from October 19th, 2025 to November 1st, 2025 to be paid on November 5th, 2025 in the amount of $76,291.72. Also payable warrant 26G8 with check number 25438 to 25491 in the amount of $226,357.37. And also Public Works warrant 26S7 with check numbers 4544 to 4550 in the amount of $25,804.74.
Can you hear me? Second. Can you hear me?
Carla,
Yes.
you can now.
Oh, okay. Change my audio setting. Okay, good.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Carla. Next on the agenda is 50 Junction Road, the FEMA buyout, 102325, and I'll open that up for discussion.
Yeah, that's for really just an update, and Tom is going to provide that.
So met with the Lazard family. The closing went well. There's a good bit of emotion there. You know, they've been there 40-some years. It was just a little side note. It's a very nice property. I don't know if you've been there. And Vince and I have had a conversation earlier today. When you go through a FEMA buyout program, you cannot, in perpetuity, put structures onto the land. And we had a conversation of maybe thinking another way of, if there in the future for the town, if there's buyouts, that the town can actually own it, but put structures on it. And so we're putting our heads together, and we're going to put together a information for the select board's consideration sometime in the future. But it won't affect any of the current buyouts that are going on now. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Good to know. Anything else additional that you want to add, Vince?
No.
Or Carla? Any questions you have, Carla, or anything you want to offer before we move forward?
No, thanks.
Thank you. So next on the agenda is the 1026 Junction Road FEMA buyout, 11/6/25.
So
On again.
this coming week, the The second buyout we have with the fair, I'm trying to remember the thing, it's the Fair family, 10 a.m. here. I don't anticipate any issues with that property. This is one of the 4 properties that you've heard of, the Junction Road culvert, that we need to get easements on to do that culvert. This will now be in town ownership, so that'll make that one relatively simple.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move on to the town plan update survey.
So there is, that is in your package as well.
That's this
So,
one?
Yes.
Survey.
Yep.
You may recall that the Select Board has contracted with the Central Rot Regional Planning Commission to help the town develop its next town plan. They have developed this survey. I believe Rachel has sent it out. As Rachel sent it out on Front Porch Forum here a couple times. I direct mailed it to folks that I have. I keep that mailing list, so I think that's gone out to a lot of folks. We just ask you if you can talk to your neighbors and or your other folks that you know on social media, that you could pass along that survey to them. Ask them to all members of the family to fill it out and return it. It's a fairly simplistic form, but it's the stepping stone for us to begin the development of the new town plan.
Thank you, Tom. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll now move on to the transit-oriented draft final plan.
So you may recall that the Select Board entered into an agreement with the Central Rot Regional Planning Commission through the Chittenden County Planning Commission, Regional Planning Commission, to do a transit-oriented plan for the Riverton area. So we've been doing this for close probably 18 months now at several meetings down at Riverton. There's a draft plan that has been vetted by myself, the Regional Planning Commission, and Ren Dillon from the Planning Commission, and those comments have been made to our consultant. I believe at the next Planning Commission meeting, there will be a draft of that plan for public consumption. We will, Select Board, get copies of that plan. We're going to put it on the town website and to where folks, we're going to send an email out to the folks, particularly the folks who express interest in Riverton, in the Riverton area, to be able to link to that plan, to take comments and suggestions on the plan. I personally think it looks like it's a very attractive, simple to read document, and it highlights some of the and takes into account some of the concerns of the citizens down in Riverton. So I think it's a well-written plan, and I think it's going to be well received.
How soon will that be out on the website, would you say, Tom?
The Planning Commission meets next Wednesday, so I could see it the following day after that if what I think is going to happen is going to happen.
Excellent, thank you. Any discussion on this topic, the transit-oriented draft final plan that Tom has just explained? Hearing none, we'll move on now to the Gateway Avenue construction update.
I think there were some items in your,
There are daily reports that have been provided in the package as well.
and they're just samples of the daily reports we have. I'd gladly to share all of them with you. The project is really going well. I invite the Select Board, if you have an opportunity, to come to one of the job meetings. The plan right now is to start the first course of paving in November 13th. I think the contractor, Dale Percy Inc. out of Stowe's, doing a really terrific job. our QA, quality assurance, quality control engineer on the project concurs with that. So we really believe that that road will be open by the middle of November. It'll be just the first course of paving, and it'll have to be completed next year when the spring comes. But we have all the water lines in, all the sewer lines in. We have 75% of the stormwater lines in. We've got 25% of the stormwater pond done. Clearing and grubbing is all done. So the project is well underway.
That's great, it's coming along nice. It's great. Any other discussion or questions regarding Tom's update?
No, it sounds great.
It does. Thank you, Tom. Moving forward now to the draft RFQ of private-public partnership to develop Gateway and Coos Trail properties and an update on that topic.
It's also in your package.
Excellent.
I think about a month ago now, the Select Board directed staff to look at developing a request for qualifications to look at a private-public partnership to develop the two pieces of property that we own, the 3.8 acres in the new town center and the 7 acres off of Coos Trail. So in your packet is a draft RFQ that's been vetted by 2 planning commission members, Vince and myself. We believe it's ready to go if the select board so decides. So it's there. I'll answer your questions. We've have a date in there. I think it's 15th of November. I can't remember off the top of my head. To folks who are interested, not November, January, to come in and meet with staff and go over the project. At the end of the day, the town is saying we have 3.8 acres that we own. We cannot sell that to anybody. It has to stay in town ownership. But we are building a new road there, sidewalks, water and sewer, and electric. Power will be to that property. And what, as a private developer, can you offer to the town to build on this property? And we're saying that the town would, part of this negotiation, would require the first floor of the building and encourage the development of new housing, new apartments there. So again, if you have any questions, I'll answer the questions. We believe it's ready to go out for circulation and begin seeking some options to develop that 3.8 acres. But again, the Coos Trail property is just down the road right now. So we're gonna concentrate on this 3.8 acres now.
Yep. So again, just my comments for the board on that one is to review this and feedback, any comments, questions, concerns, so we can get answers, and then once that's completed, we'll put it on the board for approval to move forward with.
That sounds wonderful to me. Thank you for the update. And Carla, did you want to add anything or anything that you might want to inquire about?
No, I thought it looked good.
Me too.
Also.
Thank you, Tom.
If there's no comments, could the comments be given to the town administrator and then the town administrator give approval to? I just don't want to wait 2 more weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
Prior to, I believe we have a question, Janet?
Question? So that 3.8 acres you're talking about is at Gateway Avenue
Yes,
and not
ma'am.
Coos Trail?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, and it's being talked about for potential residential? Or-
First floors the town would use.
Yeah,
There was discussion of moving the administrative offices over there, and then ideally housing on top of it.
okay. So how many stories are we talking? Is it 2?
No, I mean,
Potentially, or-
it's zoned for 6 floors.
Okay. Okay.
And when you read it, and I'm not quite sure of, but we're asking the developer that it's the town's, if housing is developed, it's the town's preference that folks who have been impacted by floods that would like to live here get top priority, and those folks who are working in Berlin but not living in Berlin get a top priority.
Thank you for the question, Janet, and for explaining, Tom. And so, Carla, do you have anything that you want to add? And Tom, can you interject more in terms of what you're seeking from us this evening?
Well, I think and maybe you take a vote to this end, I don't know, but if you don't have comments, significant comments on that, you individually email the town administrator and let him know that, and then he can make the decision to release the RFQ.
I think that sounds sufficient and a good way to move forward.
I'll make that motion.
Does anybody have comments? Do we just want to move to approve the document and issue it?
I personally thought it looked good, and I don't have any comments myself. Just on record, I will put that out there so we could move forward with what
Entertain
the
a
thought
motion?
process is.
Can I ask you a question real quick? I might have missed it. Is there a time frame on when that's gonna get done? Or is it just a concept right now?
The RFQ process will February, we'll hopefully be able to have some negotiation with it.
Okay, cool.
So we're really getting ideas. We're trying to see if people have interest in developing something there. This is just an idea-seeking exercise. It's nothing's set, or it would just be for us to review and see if anybody had what kinds of ideas people had for that property.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's how I understand it too, Carla.
I believe we're going to have some pretty active participation in this from talking to developers.
And the good part is
Which is
this opens the
great.
door for that. Mm-hmm.
We're looking at that development being years, decades. Have any idea?
I hope not.
Yeah.
No, we actually have, maybe you want to talk to this one a little bit, Carla, you were involved in it, I believe, a little bit more, but we have a commitment, I think, within 5 years of having to have some sort of town office in the new town center, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
There's an obligation to have it. I'm not sure what the time frame is, but
Yeah. Well, we'll have to check, but I thought it was 5 years, it could be longer, but again, we're what, 3-4 years into it already? So we don't even have a design, so I think, it's gotta move forward fairly quickly is the bottom line.
Right, okay.
To-
hopefully in my lifetime, Jeff.
Yeah, right, yeah. Who knows?
If I remember correctly, I think, Tom, you mentioned at one point when we questioned the time frame that it wasn't so much the 5 years, like we're not
Yeah.
necessarily 4 in, we don't have to worry about that quite so much. Is that true?
My sense is that, given what folks can see, the downtown board can see, the actions we're taking, we're building roads, the infrastructure, we have acquired this property. I don't think there's a date definitive that you have to have. I think we could go to them and show really good faith that we're doing this. We're a small town. We're not South Burlington. We don't have the assets of them, the staff. Again, I think they'll be very pleased with the efforts that a small rural town like Berlin has been able to achieve.
Is there a consequence?
I just, that's just a conversation that's really not needed, I don't think. But, yeah.
But if we could get something else going over there, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So if we'd like, I'll entertain a motion regarding this topic.
I'll move to approve and issue the RFQ.
Second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all. And next on the agenda is the Riverton Community Wastewater Project update.
So remember the last time we met, to get grant funding, or it's the through the Clean Water State Revolving Fund. There's an annual application. Berlin typically scores out of 100 points, mid-70s. And we've been scoring in the mid-70s probably for 3 years now. And the way to get to the next level, where the next level is in the mid to high 80s in points, and that's where the money's at, is to have the project at the ready. And for us to have it at the ready, we need to have a final design on the Riverton Village wastewater and the permits in hand. And that will likely get us 12 out of 12 points. I think we're getting 1 point now out of that category. And so we had the discussion a couple of meetings ago. Craig Pelletier from the Public Works was here, that there are some significant dollars in the wastewater allocation fund that he and I made the suggestion that if the engineering proposal by Otter Creek from, I think it was May of this year, is still valid, that the select board would give consideration into entering a net contract with Otter Creek. It was for $45,000 to complete those. It was in their package?
It's in their package.
Okay. And so Otter Creek has sent the Vince note saying that they'll honor that funding. And so I would encourage the select board to approve the use of those dollars to help complete this Riverton wastewater, village wastewater program, to get it at the point where we could start getting some grant dollars to maybe make it come to fruition.
Any further discussion? Anything you want to add, Carla?
So
Hearing
what,
none? Go
I'm
ahead.
trying to figure out what happens if we don't.
If we don't do the final design,
Yeah, I mean, are we investing money yeah.
well, it's to get us funding for the project. You may recall that we have we've been shortlisted on Representative Balin's congressional directed spending. I'm trying to, the numbers are on, probably like $1.8 million. That hasn't, we haven't got final approval of that yet. So what doing this final permit and final designs get you is the ability to go to the Clean Water State Revolving Fund
Right.
and
I
request.
guess,
Yep, request.
sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Tom. I guess my question is, so the Public Works Board is gonna commit the money?
Well, the select board the Public Works Board doesn't exist. It's the select board.
Right, but is it the Public Works, is this gonna come out of the general fund at any point in time if it doesn't get funded?
Not the $45,000. The $45,000 is not.
That's gonna come from the Public Works Board budget?
From their allocation fund.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Okay.
Yes.
And there's no expectation that we're gonna reimburse it if, at any point, if this doesn't get funded.
I don't believe so, but, well,
Yeah.
that's a decision of the select board.
Well, yes, except that, I mean, yeah, okay, well, now it is. All right,
I mean, it's for, I think it's a valid use of those funds. We're trying to
Yeah, no,
build,
I-
we're
yeah.
trying to build capacity in wastewater, and that's what the allocation funds were set up to do.
yeah, no, I agree that I think the funding's, I think using those funds is appropriate, I just wasn't sure if there was some expectation on the other side that, but, okay, thank you.
I'll open it up for the pleasure of the board, including if we wanted to table it until all board members are present for making a decision. Open to feedback relative to that.
Right.
Hearing none.
I'll say we table it till we have all the board members
That's what I was
present.
just gonna say as well. I think that that would be wise. It gives us more time to give it contemplative review and discuss it as a full board. Okay, thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda is a call for Recreation Committee members. So wonderful, thank you for being here, and I open it up. I give you the floor.
Sure, yeah, give me just a second, I'm gonna make sure I hit all my points here. So, well, I first say what we do, and I think we talked about it last week a little bit, but on the specific point of volunteers, we have folks who show up to not only coach and referee for youth sports activities, but we have folks who show up to resource those coaches and do the scheduling and the background work. So we're not putting all the work on coaches for doing that in a season. So we ask a lot of a volunteer coach to watch kids for a little while and coach them in whatever sport they're coaching them in. But what we're not asking them to do is get deeply involved in the scheduling, get deeply involved in the resourcing of materials and fields and places to be. So we have folks who show up to do that. We have folks who show up to schedule and create craft fairs over at the school and other places with other volunteers to work with the PTNA in the school and make sure that those things are happening in the community. We have folks who show up to manage our sports fields so that the baseball field gets done up before Little League starts. And we have folks who show up and line the soccer fields and mow the soccer fields if it needs to be done, and sweep the basketball courts and do all the things that need to be done for the youth sports that we work with. We have folks who show up to help with the ice rink, to snow blow it when it snows, to pack it down when it's time to pack it down. We need folks to come and help us remove the old board. But we have folks who do that in the winter time and come and help us out to make sure all that stuff gets done. What we don't have, besides the folks who did pull out those boards this year or whatever, what we don't have are people who can show up to a meeting a month and contribute to shaping how recreation will go forward in the town of Berlin, to be able to bring those recommendations to the select board, to be able to work with our town administrative staff and be able to make those things move forward so that we have a thing that we can share with our community, so that our taxpayers in the community are getting a return on their investment, past a good road, past a fire company, past those good things that we need, but get some more return on that investment that we are asking our taxpayers and now our visitors to contribute to. So That's what we need for volunteers. We need volunteers for all those other things. If you show up to do those things, I'm not gonna turn you away. Thank you for coming, but please, but we also need folks who can come and do the administrative part and who have an understanding of how the system is supposed to work, because sometimes we're volunteers, sometimes we don't understand how the system is supposed to work. Sometimes we screw it up. Sometimes we screw up really big. But we're doing our best to put things back to where we can. So what we really need are those people who can come and help us to move the town forward, and help us to make sure we're doing it right, and that we can bring something to our neighbors, to our friends and neighbors here in the community, and get them to see that it's valuable and support those things going forward.
I think this is wonderful that we're having this discussion, and I would suggest if that was drafted in such a way, it could be put on the Berlin website.
Sure.
And I see just recently, in fact, all of the feedback on Front Page Forum, folks talking about the recreation center, etc., and maybe including all your information, and even tonight, how would they reach out to you if they hear this when Orca publishes tonight's meeting?
Okay.
How to reach you, either by phone, email, etc. And I really think that there's going to be an increased awareness and willingness, so I'm glad that you're having this
And if
discussion.
there's any reluctance in, reaching out to someone on the committee that's
Yeah.
currently there, they can reach out to the town administrator through the town administrator email, and I will get that information, individual's information, to the committee.
Right.
Wonderful.
The only concern I have about reaching out to us is that,
It should go to Vince and I.
well, it can and it could, but we have no record for us to be able to talk. We don't have town email. We don't have town emails. We don't have official emails for the community.
Understood.
So anything that we do could be considered, inappropriate under town meeting kind of stuff, and we don't want to do that. We want to do this
Then
right.
have them contact through my email,
Okay.
and I'll work through the rec committee
Sure.
directly.
Great.
Perfect.
Thank you.
I'll reach out
That
to you.
sounds
and we'll-
wonderful.
We'll go back and forth that way, and
Yeah. So.
solves that one.
Yeah, and just
Excellent.
back to the note of the call for volunteers. Yes, please come. And this thing's recorded, so maybe I'll take the transcript and
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Appreciate you, all of you. Okay, next up on the agenda is the fire department. Discussion regarding S. Cusick email.
Steve Kusick, who's our town attorney, has sent me the following. I'm just gonna read his email.
Please.
And again, this is with regards to the town taking over the fire department and the assets. It's a result of that first meeting that we've had. So part of it is that the volunteer fire department is still using 338 Pennington Turnpike as its mailing address. When we say the Berlin Volunteer Fire Department, we're talking about the existing corporation that's there, because it's not fully dissolved yet. And on that note, we're talking about a name change for that, which may mean a charter change for them as well. But that's also under discussion with the town attorney. So as he goes on to say, 338 Payne Turnpike is now effectively a municipal building. The issue needs to be raised at tonight's meeting, consistent with what we spoke about. It makes sense that the BVFD entity be terminated and reformed under another name. For continuity and practical purposes, the fire department should still continue to receive the defunct BVFD's mail at Payne Turnpike, but he doesn't believe that the reformed entity should be receiving its mail at a municipal address. So he wanted that to be presented to the board to get their thoughts on it as well, but that's currently, his position on that, and we have relayed that in the meeting to the fire department as their corporation.
I'm really glad that Steve brought this information forward to us to put us on notice and what his recommendations are. And I open it up for discussion as to whether we want to discuss it more thoroughly tonight or look at it a little more in-depth, have some additional discussions, and especially when all board members are present. But I'm
Right.
open to.
My recommendation is, again, this is more of an informational
Yeah.
session tonight.
Right.
Everybody should digest it, think about it, and then we'll put it on the agenda again when everyone can be here for a more in-depth discussion. And probably at that point, we'll have additional information from both the fire department, where they stand, and Mr. Kusick.
I concur.
On how we're going forward.
I think that makes perfect sense. Carla, how do you feel regarding this?
Well, so my question is, isn't it the action that needs to be taken isn't by us?
Correct.
If the corporation has to be reformed, that's not something we can control.
Correct, but
Correct.
the point is, it's delaying the full transfer of assets
Okay.
and clarity regarding the fire department being a municipal operated organization as well, right?
Right,
So-
I guess what I'm saying is, I mean, we have to know what their position is before we can really do anything, right?
Right. And again, if questions come up, this is information to make you aware. Those discussions
no,
have
I get
started,
it.
so,
I get it. I appreciate it.
okay,
I appreciate all of you, so that's what we will do.
okay.
So next up on the agenda is the Washington Electric Co-op permit approval.
Yeah, this one is, it's an older one. Washington Electric has already got the work done. Tim's been involved with it as well. The permit came in, it never got presented or signed for whatever reason. I'm just asking for permission to make it official by getting the permit signed and back to them and on file as a record. There was no issues with the work. Tim knew it was happening. But once again, this never made it to the board to get signed before the work was done.
What's your time frame on getting it signed, as in you want a
if-
decision tonight?
Yeah, if the board can make the decision tonight, I'll sign it and we'll get that one behind us and cleaned up.
Open that up for discussion. Any feedback that you want to present, Carla? And are you ready to move forward with that tonight?
So, what did they do?
They put in some poles, replaced some poles
Okay.
in town.
So is it a right of way permit?
Yeah, it's a permit for Washington Electric to put in 5 new poles and install a distribution line on the east side of Jones Brook Road.
Well, it's kind of pointless to not. Yeah. Okay.
Yep,
It's already done. So.
well, exactly, but the permit still should be signed so that the work's been checked. Tim's seen it, he's looked at it, he was aware of it.
That's where we live, so it looks good. I can see it too.
Yeah,
Good to hear. So if we
I guess
want
it-
to move forward on this tonight, if that's what is desired, I would open it up for a motion.
I guess my question is, was this an error on the part of the town, or was this an error on the part of the Washington Electric?
it was an error on the part of the town.
Okay.
That they
guess-
get lost in the shuffle of paperwork apparently.
Okay. No, understood. I just want to make sure that we've done this quite a bit. I just want to make sure we try to avoid this in the future. But I'll move to approve the permit post work.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Hearing none, motion carries. And we've already done the approval of licenses and permits, so now on the agenda, we have the roundtable. Anything you'd like to add, Carla?
Not tonight. Thanks.
You and Vince?
I do. I'll keep it quick. I'll try to, Carla. But I do have a few things. Again, information, what's coming up that we're looking at and where we're at with a few things. I will send you a copy, but obviously we're in the middle of the budget process. We're a little bit behind. We're playing catch up on that. I have a scheduled timeline here. I'll send that out to you to show you where we're at and where we should be. But again, the next meeting, I hope to have a draft budget to put in front of the board, just to get us caught back up. We're a couple of weeks or more behind where we should be.
Vince, do you think we should start scheduling weekly meetings?
After the next meeting for the budget, yes, probably we will
Okay.
need to. That will help.
Okay.
And I'm fine with that as well.
The other thing, real quick, we did respond to Ms. Hedges on the water issues that she raised a meeting or so ago. And we got a letter back from our letter of response. I did send you a copy of the letter that Craig and I put together and sent out to her in your email. And we got a response. I'll share that with you via email as well. I won't go into the details here, but it's just something to have on our radar. So I'll get that out to you probably tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, and we can talk about it at the next meeting again, if need be.
Okay.
That's just information. The other thing that's going to be coming up, I think that's important, two things, I'll just put them together, is financing of capital projects, right? To get a little more discussion and clarity on how we do that, and the way that we do that as well. So that's coming up. And then the Economic Development Committee as well. Roles and responsibilities maybe to talk about a little bit. And we do have an economic development plan, just to remind everybody, from January of 2008. Perhaps it's time to talk to the Economic Development Committee about reviewing and updating that plan. I suspect, just from a quick glance, there's a few things that we may want to update on that as well. So just, again, where we are with the growth and the amount of things going on in the town, I think these are a couple of things that we need to do to help manage it rather than have it managing us, just to get ahead of this.
Vin, is the Economic Development Committee an ad hoc committee or is it a charter committee?
Charter, isn't it?
I believe it's a chartered committee. I'll have to double check that to be positive, but I believe
I
it's a
thought
chartered.
not, and I thought it had actually just was not actually active.
They have been active.
They haven't been posting. They haven't been putting any information out there. I don't think.
That was initially correct, but that's been addressed.
I think those dates should be corrected. I think it should be shown when those were posted.
Okay, we can show them when they're posted, but they were meeting. They were keeping minutes. They were just not getting to the town and getting put on the website. But
No, but were the meetings warned properly?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Yes, they were.
They were?
Okay.
They were?
Thank you.
I'm just asking because I haven't been following it, to be honest with you, Tor. I just was curious because I did notice that they had suddenly gone up on the website.
Yep. It was pointed out, and we addressed it and got it corrected.
Good. Good news. Thank you for the questions, Carla. And thank you, Tor, too.
I know it's hard the website stuff is not easy to do, but we gotta try to, it'd be nice to find somebody that really liked doing that could volunteer.
Any other items to add?
That's it for my roundtable. Just, again, raise the awareness.
My only other roundtable is there's been a lot of feedback on the front page forum, and with tomorrow being the time to vote, there may be people who pose questions or concerns, and I had hoped to respond to many more, but time has been limited, and I will try to respond to some of the individuals that posed some very descriptive questions so they don't feel that they didn't hear back. Maybe they've heard from other people, but I would just encourage anyone who might have an answer to any of the various questions that maybe they reach out to the individuals directly, because the vote is tomorrow, and putting it on front page forum wouldn't necessarily give them enough time to get their answers. So that's the only thing that I would interject. And I also want to say that I appreciate all of the feedback that's been on front page forum from both sides. It really is wonderful that people have been expressing their views. So.
Flo, did you send those emails? I see your email responding, but I didn't see the actual emails.
Yes, actually, so I had two individuals that wrote to me via email, and I responded to both of those individuals today. One with a very detailed response that, you know, I believe will mostly suffice, and the other indicated that additional information will be forthcoming as time allows.
Okay, all right. If there's anything that you want help responding to, please forward it again, because I'm okay. Maybe okay. Never mind. Oh no, I don't have it. I've just got your message about providing help answering.
Sure, not a problem. I can actually get that to
Okay.
you after I get home this evening. And
Okay,
I did
perfect.
respond to both of them because I wanted them
Okay,
to have as
alright.
much information as possible. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, Carla, if it's at all possible, tomorrow, could you swing by and sign the payroll and?
Yeah. Oh yeah, shoot. Yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna have to go to the hospital in the morning, so I'll come over.
They'll be in Callie's office.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carla.
Okay.
And I will, if there's no additional information to share or discuss, I will open up for a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
So moved?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Sorry I
Motion.
couldn't be there. Hopefully next time.
Excellent. We'll look forward to seeing you.
Good luck tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And the
Hope it goes
meeting
well.
has
Yeah, I'll
adjourned.